Hello, folks. It's Wendy with New Bern Now. With the holiday season upon us, I wanted to share an interview that we did with our dear friend, the late, great Greg Smith of Mitchell Hardware. His uplifting personality and passion to help our community shines through his beautiful daughters, Lindsay and Winnie, as they've taken the helm. Although we miss him every day, we wanted to share his infectious, positive outlook with you, hoping there will be a reminder for all of us to appreciate each other, our great town of New Bern, and life in general. Here's what he had to say.
Oh,
who is it?
somebody's
Someone's
here.
knocking at the
Come
door.
in.
Come on in.
It's Greg Smith with
Greg
Mitchell
Smith.
Hardware.
Greg
Woo!
How are you?
We were just raving about all the wonderful things that are going to be happening downtown, and I'm sure you're going to reinforce that.
We're talking about Beary Merry Christmas. You know a little bit about that, don't you?
I do. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Good to see you.
It's always great seeing you, Greg.
Did Amanda Banks, the head elf, send you here today?
I believe so, actually. We were over there unloading a truck of merchandise, of course, for Christmas or for next week.
Right, yeah, for next week.
And they said, you're needed across the street. I said, sure, of course.
Well, there you go.
I thought, oh, yes, it's the best time of year.
That's right.
It's
It
the
really
best
is
time.
wonderful.
Somebody asked me one time what my favorite thing about Christmas was, and I said, well, two things. One was lights.
Yeah.
Lights and lights and lights everywhere, I could go on for that for 20 minutes. And then the other thing was just smiles on the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All ages, everyone enjoying.
And everybody
art.
having fun and just in a good mood and excited
Yeah.
about the holidays.
Oh, just pure fun. And I really love it. And I've been able to watch it for 30 years, from when we had a little Santa house with a couple dozen to now thousands on the
Yeah, our
sidewalks.
little Santa
Yep.
house years ago. And it was pretty humble, actually. We've come a long way.
Well, we have. Our staff even says that after a really, really busy day, and we might be tired, maybe tired of wrapping packages if that's even possible, we can walk over in the middle of Bear Plaza. It's snow falling down and kids running around and smiles and realize that this is the greatest place anywhere.
There you go. That's
You're
right.
absolutely
really
right
is.
there.
So this weekend starts the season. And right now the buzz is all over town. But I mean, Thanksgiving's a beautiful day with everyone spending time with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And walking off the food, of course.
Yeah, exactly. We were
Yeah.
just talking about the turkey trot. The Y is doing a turkey trot to Berna for
That's a
5 or
great
10K
event.
on Thanksgiving Day, just to help you walk off.
It
that
is
turkey.
a great event.
Yeah.
And then Friday's just pure fun. Just absolute fun. From all the stores having open houses, and speaking of food, with apple cider and treats and treats and treats. Go from store to
Yeah.
store, just having a wonderful time. And for me as a merchant, it's my favorite 2 days of the year because I get to see all the families of our town. And it means so much. Be it little children in strollers to all the college kids,
Right.
I say
Right.
college kids, all coming home and
That's right.
walking these sidewalks that they're familiar with, or bringing new boyfriends or girlfriends or spouses and their kids and sharing the joy of Thanksgiving, of Christmas in our town. There was a newcomer in the store yesterday. They just moved to town last week. Our words to this couple was, you couldn't have picked a finer time
Yeah, that's
to
right.
be in
That's
this.
right.
And
Yeah.
I think we exhausted them with telling them of everything going on. What's exciting about this time is how our community as a whole, specifically the downtown, has so much to offer for so many individuals. And a lot of it's very generous. A lot of the activities celebrate and support agencies in our town that appreciate and need things this time of year. Be it everybody from RCS to the Hospital Foundation, and I can keep going on and
Right.
on. And they celebrate the season by providing something that's enjoyable for kids or for adults that raises funds for them, for their groups that serve our town so very well. You know, one of the Saturdays that's on your calendar, of course, is the pie breakfast at Morgan's, supporting partners in education.
Right.
And it's a couple hours, and Morgan's gives up their restaurant and provides breakfast for our town. And our contribution for breakfast supports that agency. Just one of the many
Right.
things that goes on this month. Oh, I can keep going, of course.
Well, they're going to do sledding, right? Saturday? Sledding downtown?
Twice.
Twice. Okay.
2 sledding events.
Okay.
Of course. One is at the the tree lighting that will be, and it's actually free sledding. It's sponsored. Then a couple Sundays later, the family sledding and shopping day, and the key word to that was family. The reason we came up with that on a Sunday is that should be a family day. Yeah. And it is more fun to watch those fathers and mothers and kids laughing, shouting in glee going down those slopes on a Sunday afternoon, and then walking our sidewalks very safely and enjoying their visit in our town. And that's followed by 2 weekends with Saturday night candlelight tours at the Palace. And I've been fortunate to volunteer there for over 10 years for candlelight, and I always tell people that it's the prettiest place in the state of North Carolina on 2 nights, and it's in our town, and everyone's welcome.
And Greg, do you dress up?
Well, of course, my ancestor dressed us up. Oh, yes, I'll be there.
You know, the nicest part of all of it is the memories that people have because of the downtown festivities and all.
Susan will remember this. As my girls were growing up here, they, of course, knew of Santa here in his house. And every once in a while, someone would say, "Did you see the Santa some other place?" And my children would say, "Well, Santa visits there, but he lives downtown."
That is cute.
I understand we have one Santa that volunteers the entire time, right? And he's done it for the past couple of years.
Yes, he's the real Santa.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's been very generous.
He has. Yeah.
With our community and sharing that love to literally thousands over the season, and has done so for several years. As long as we talk about fun events, the annual pet parade. And we even invite everyone in the listening area to come to downtown on that day. It's 8:45. And last year there were 450 animals.
Oh, my goodness.
Dogs. Wow. All dressed in their Christmas attire.
Of course.
With the families. They actually assemble on the corner of South Front and Craven and take a group photo. It's a fabulous picture, and it's always on display at Naughty Paws.
At Naughty Paws. I've seen those pictures there.
Picture, fabulous pictures. Yep. And then they walk together. Well, single file, of course, on a wonderful route around downtown. All those parents, kids, and their dogs in their finest. I've never seen one bark or be in an argument. It's almost as if they're strutting, all of them. Much fun. Probably the biggest smile that you can find is a child watching that.
Oh, I bet. That is grand.
So, Greg, did you get the sleds in?
Of course. No, it's always a little fun to say that we sell sleds. And I put them out during open house so that all the crowd can see them, so that when we have that threat of snow,
yes,
you know, that threat of that 1/4-inch snow that we're going to have, kind of think that everyone can run down and get a saucer. I remember when the kids were young, one time we had this threat of snow, and I remember I got home and the girls went, "Well, where's our sled?" I mean, you're the one who has them. I didn't have one.
Like, Dad, what's wrong with you? Well, I remember the Christmas of '89. It was deep. It was probably at least 2 feet of snow.
And it drifted. Actually,
it is
it's
kind of nice.
One of my fondest memories. Well, I have to admit, we were open that day, be it Christmas Eve, and it started snowing, and it was snowing very hard. And it was beautiful. It was huge flakes like people that not Southerners know anything about. And I remember we kept telling these people, "It's time for y'all to go home. We love you, but it's time for you to go home," especially people who were from afar. There was a husband shopping for his wife and from Harker's Island, and we said, "Sir, you need to go home." And he said, "It's Christmas Eve." He said, "I'll be fine." And we took all his things to his truck, and he took off driving in the snow toward home. I guess it's sort of like being Santa Claus. And
yeah, that's right.
We haven't had one like that since then.
No.
Well, Greg, it's always a pleasure to see you. I love Mitchell Hardware, and my sister and brother-in-law were in here last week, and they had a blast. So they love your shop, and they wish they had one in Buffalo.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit with all of you today, this week. As I said, my favorite week of the whole year. I'd invite all of you this Friday and Saturday to come by the store, get a cup of apple cider.
Yes, sir.
Go walk our sidewalks and have as much fun as I have.
And I just want to follow up with what Wendy just said. I think everybody that visits here wishes they had a Mitchell Hardware in their town.
Need to move to New Bern where they can have a Mitchell Hardware in their town.